Yes, people. Hope everything is good. Thank you very much to those that are and have been waiting patiently in the chat. Eunice will be here very, very soon. But I just thought I don't want to keep the people them waiting. Let me see how everyone's doing. And I did mess up with the time. I put 7 o'clock p.m. US time instead of UK time. So there was that error. So apologies to the people that first saw the link. We are here now. That's what matters. Big up the 35 people in the building. Daniel Knight, I see you. Fanuel, big up yourself. Fanuel, yeah, that's it. Um, AD Bucks, why do we still have three on our kits? I think we've got I don't know if it's a year or two left. I'll ask Younes when he comes on, but we still got obligations to obviously we're contracted in it. So if we did pull out, maybe there was a clause that would have put Chelsea in a bit of trouble, but whatever. Thoughts on Aubameyang and Fofana probably arriving. That is what we are going to be discussing. Myself and Younes are definitely going to cover some of that. We're going to try and get this wrapped up before obviously the big game of the night, Monday Night Football, Manchester United versus Liverpool. Let's talk about that a little bit, yeah? Let me get my thoughts of Chelsea before I've got a deep dive back into my team. What are we saying about that tonight, people? Big up yourself, Mike. Let me know the people that are coming in. Let me know your thoughts on tonight's game. A draw. Younes is coming, by the way. He's going to be on the way. Now, the watch-alongs are going to be coming 100%. It's just last week I was at the Football Factory, and this week I had to do something with my son and that. So they're coming back though. They are coming back, and also as well. That's what I wanted to say. Tomorrow, 5 o'clock, interactive live. I'm actually going to create the link after this. While I do watch the Manchester United game. So Chelsea fans, come and give your thoughts. You don't even just have to be a Chelsea fan, man. If you've got anything that you want to get off your chest, call in. It will be 5 until 7. And then at 7 o'clock, I'll be having Henry Wright TV on. Yes, we're going to be doing a weekly show every Tuesday on my platform and every Thursday on his platform. So make sure you check that out afterwards. So there's going to be a lot of content tomorrow. But big ups to everyone coming in. Let me see some of these score predictions now. 3-0 Liverpool. I'd be leaning towards that, the way United are playing. Casemiro can't play either, I don't think. I highly doubt he's playing. 2-2, 4-0 Liverpool. Starting 11. Alexander-Arnold, Gomez, Van Dijk, Robertson, Henderson, Milner, Elliott, Diaz, Salah, Firmino. You've got enough there to do a job on United. You've got enough there to thrash them. Definitely. I don't see if Liverpool don't come out of this game with 3 points, I would be fourth game of the season, but I wouldn't be too happy with it. Do you know what I mean? You've already lost points. You've dropped 4 points already. One-way traffic, I think so as well. 1-1 draw. 4-1 Liverpool, says George Walsh. I know it's never right off Man United and that old school saying. Like those of you that are old enough to just remember that United were a relentless machine, man. Like you could never write them off. But right about now, I don't think it's that vibe, you know. And I mean that respectfully, you get me? To the people that are coming in, Younes will be joining us shortly in about 5 minutes or so. Have you seen the United team news? No, I haven't seen it yet. Liverpool will wash Man United. No Casemiro, yeah. 2-2, 6-0 Liverpool. Flipping hell. Big up yourself, Ariana. Big up from Dar es Salaam, Tanzania. Come on, man. Respect. 3-0 Liverpool. It's my country right there. Maguire to Chelsea. If you believe that, I swear down, I've got an igloo to sell you in Mexico, cuz. Yeah, if you believe that, don't see that happening. Do you think Aubameyang deal will be done before the Leicester game this week? Let's see. We'll discuss that with Younes when he comes in. We need Declan Rice ASAP. With Kante out, we need that strength in that position. Ronaldo and Maguire dropped. Let me have a look at this United first 11. Let's have a look. Man United. Starting 11. So De Gea, Martinez, Bruno Fernandes, Rashford, Malacia. I'm reading this from the Twitter, by the way. Malacia, Ericsson, Varane, okay, Dalot, Sancho, Elanga, and McTominay. McTominay is Teflon. He just will never ever get dropped, will he? McTominay is actually, let's see who they got. This McTominay guy, man. Teflon, brother. United fans are I'm just going by what my United friends are saying, innit? And a lot of them want to see Rashford dropped. They want to see McTominay dropped. I haven't seen let me see the shape that they're playing. What shape has he gone with? Smash the like as you get in the building as well, people. If you're just joining, Younes will be in here soon. So they've gone, okay, 4-2-3-1, it says here. And they've still got Christian Eriksen playing that deep with Scott McTominay. That's just not going to work. I'll be very, very surprised unless United maintain, hold possession for the majority of the game. That looks... And looking at Liverpool now, obviously Henderson and Milner, people will have their reservation about them two players. But I still think it's a better midfield than what United have, 100%. And that front three, Varane and Martinez. Let's see how that, because I haven't seen them partnered up together. Dalot right back, Malacia gone left back. So Luke Shaw's also been dropped. So the manager's made a couple statement moves here. Erik ten Hag has been brave. You got to give him that. Draw would be ideal for us. Liverpool missing key players. They are, but they're still better than United. I'm not going to lie. Really don't want Aubameyang. I actually can't believe we're doing this again. Younes will be here in a couple minutes. It's 7:15. He's gonna get here. Big ups from Kenya. Fanny would rather have Guni to CFC than Maguire, 100%. Nah, it's not gonna happen, man. It's not gonna happen. I still think it's a Fofana thing. I still think we sign up for Fofana. Look at Simon Phillips, Chelsea working on Leao deal. Let's have a look at that because Simon Phillips. So Simon's just quoted somebody from the Times Sport, and it says Chelsea are confident of sealing the deal for Everton's Anthony Gordon this week. Chelsea are also working on a deal to sign forward Rafael Leao from AC Milan. So I don't know the source he's quoted. It just says the Times Sport. I don't know which journalist it is, but you lot know what I feel about this whole thing with Anthony Gordon. I don't think he's a priority, man. We should be looking at a midfielder. That's my opinion anyway. Those that are joining in the room, Younes will be here in a minute. He'll be here soon. Thank you for 13K as well, people. Appreciate that. And to those that are joining in as well, since we've got more people in the room, I make the announcement again. Interactive Live will be at 5:00 p.m. UK time tomorrow. We will be discussing, obviously, what happened over this weekend and whatever else that you want to discuss with me on the camera. I'll be doing a show with Henry Wright TV after that as well. So at 7:00 p.m. So straight after the Interactive Live. So tomorrow is going to be an active day. Pedro Neto, 50 million. I think he's a very good player. His injury record worries me, not going to lie. He didn't have the best injury record last season, I believe. But I do think he's a very, very, very talented player. Very talented player. Is he the long-term answer for me? I don't think so. But can he do a job as of now? Absolutely. Absolutely. What do we have to lose? But the manager's insisting that Gallagher can do the number 6 role. It is what it is. I'm just going to wait for Younes to come in. I've already said my piece on that. I don't want to just keep repeating myself like a broken record. Guni, can I say a massive thank you to the NHS and the surgeon who repaired my arm? Unbelievable job they do. Respect 100%. Yeah, man. Respect to all their healthcare workers for real, man. One of the most selfless occupations out there in terms of unselfish occupations. Obviously, you're there saving people's lives, man. The amount of education that you've got to go through as well to do that, it's a lifetime vocation, like, so you got to respect it. 100%, you got to respect it. And I'm happy for you, Craig, that they were able to repair your arm, man. That's good, man. That's good news. That's very good news. 2-2 draw. Liverpool hasn't been impressive either. Goretzka from Bayern. I don't even know if they'd sell him. And he's also a number 8. If we're gonna bid money for that, for like that, just go for Kimmich. Just try for Joshua Kimmich, which I don't think they'd ever sell. Bayern would just not sell him. But him being a number 6 at Chelsea, okay, now you're talking. Now you are talking. Chelsea and Leao were negotiating with AC Milan. We're going to talk about this. I promise to the people that are coming in. Younes should be here any minute now. And we will be discussing the Aubameyang potential incoming of the player. And we're going to be discussing the midfield situation. And we're going to talk a little bit about the Leeds game over the weekend. That's Younes dropping me a message right about now. Oh, shit. That was my fault. I didn't even send the brother the link. So let me do this. I just got carried away talking to you lot. Just doing that scan text thing. 73C9. Okay, cool. Yeah, so Younes should be here any second now. I always do that. It's not even, Mark, it's not even Younes' fault. It's definitely not Younes' fault. This is Guni's fault. Yet again, I forgot to send him the link. He should be here any second now. We should go for Ghana. I'm going to wait until we get onto the topic of midfielders. As a long-term replacement, I think Ivan Toney. I got lost in the comments. But Ivan Toney, at this stage in the transfer window, I don't think Brentford are going to let go of him, to be honest with you. And Younes has arrived, people. Younes has arrived. Let me... Younes in the building. How you doing, my bro?
I'm good. How you doing?
Very well, thanks, man. It has been a minute since we have been on the collaboration on the channel, man. So
it's a little while, isn't it?
Yeah, it's good to have you back. You've been out on your adventures. Hope you enjoyed that as well, man. Sounded pretty cool what you was doing out there.
Yeah, man, was sick. It was good to spend some time away, friends and all of that. And yeah, man, back and then we lose 3-0. Lovely.
Well,
we drew 2-2 first, and then we lost.
Yeah, we're gonna get onto that like towards the end, because obviously the Manchester United Liverpool game is gonna be on at it's 8 o'clock your time, isn't it?
Yeah, so definitely 40 minutes from now.
Yeah, we're gonna get done before then. But let's just talk about the Aubameyang situation. Apparently, it is looking like it's getting closer. Oh damn it! I think I had the tweet somewhere.
Apparently, it's a done deal. So
It's a done deal, is it?
there's sources in Spain and some pages that have been talking about Barcelona constantly. That are all saying, yeah, it's now a done deal. 22 million euros, plus 5 million euro variables.
Well, I've got here from Simon Phillips. I don't know how reliable this outlet is. Relevo, I'm not too sure.
Yeah, Relevo are one of the Spanish. Yeah,
They've said
there's some others as well.
Chelsea and Barcelona have found an agreement for Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, £18.6 million and £4 million in add-ons. So that's from Simon Phillips that I'm reading from. He tweeted that about 4 hours ago. But yeah, let's start with that. How do you feel about the signing of Aubameyang? Potential signing of Aubameyang. He's not got the shirt up yet, so he's not here yet.
You know how we would feel about that. Because we'd rub it in a certain man's face, won't we? But on a footballing level, I'm happy with that, man. Yeah, you know what? Look, I think Aubameyang, would it be the end of our problems? No. But I think it would be someone that I think would slot right in, would get, would pick up from the ground running immediately, I think wouldn't bang like 25, 30 goals a season, but will be much better than what we have as options. We'll be able to know exactly what Tuchel asks of him. He's worked with Tuchel before, Premier League experience. He's been there and done it. It's not been too long since he's left. I think he'll come right in and he'll find his feet. He'll find his feet. So I'm happy with this. Now, after seeing the Leeds game and whatnot, do we need Aubameyang and Ronaldo? Probably. but no, Aubameyang definitely an upgrade on what we have right now, so I'll take it.
I mean, in terms of pure finisher, I don't disagree. I don't think anybody would disagree with that. And do we know what the conditions of the contract are, like the length of it, or has that not been released yet? We don't know that information.
No idea. All we know is that this was a few days ago. Chelsea apparently were looking at Aubameyang as just like a stopgap solution for now. So like a season or two. In the meantime, see what future windows are saying, and then we'll properly get in someone that I think is gonna, stay at Chelsea for the long run. But for now, it's a good short-term solution. I think Chelsea are looking at it like that. So, okay. Well, if Chelsea are going with that line of thinking, then I can live with that. Yeah, me too.
It was at first. The first rumor was we're looking to go for Nkunku next summer. That was the first.
Yeah, rumor. Leao was in the same rumor.
Well, the thing is, a few people in here are saying that there's some outlets saying that we're going in for Leao. We're trying to negotiate for him.
Yeah, because she's going back to Ajax.
Okay. Well, it is a 1-in, 1-out situation. Undertaker CFC. Yeah. We are quoting sources. This is not an I think and I personal nothing. We are quoting sources. So if there's anyone you want to tell that's talking rubbish, go and have a word with the sources. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, apparently we're going for Rafael Leao as well.
Yep.
That's a signing that I like. My thing is, and it brings me on to the next topic quite sooner than I wanted to address it. That midfield is a thing of concern, massively.
Oh, holy shit! Like, we're in trouble in midfield, man. This is why I said at the start when you asked me about Aubameyang, is it the solution to all our problems? No. But, to be honest, we need a striker, but my goodness, we need a DM. Even if we're playing in a back three in a double pivot. We now need a DM, bruv. Not even someone that can come in and just play double pivot. If we get De Jong, I would be happy with that. Cool. But I still think even with a De Jong, we need a DM. Like, regardless, we need a DM. If not, we're going to struggle, man. What's happening right now in our midfield is shambolic. And then when you hear Tuchel yesterday some of his comments baffled me yesterday. And he try and say that, oh no, with all the midfield options, we don't need to chase a centre mid. Like, you all right, mate? We need a DM. Honestly, it's mad. But yeah, we desperately need it.
Here's the thing: is Jorginho's on the last year of his contract. Kante's on the last year of his contract. So there's also, yeah, exactly. right? And Kovacic is injury prone
and injured. Yeah.
This is the problem.
Yeah.
So it's not like we just need one. We need several.
This is why I'm saying if we were to go and get a De Jong, cool. But I'm not completely satisfied just with that. Like him alongside a defensive midfielder, I think would bang.
I'm glad you said that because, you know, there's several takes out there where, you know, people are saying De Jong can do the number 6. So I got sucked into that at first, right? I'm not going to lie. But when you actually watch, and especially what happened yesterday, yeah, he can't do it. I don't think he can do it. He cost Barcelona yesterday.
But he's a double pivot player that moves forward. It's basically like Kovacic on steroids. And you look at De Jong, right? And can he fill in from time to time? Yeah, perhaps, depending on who we're facing. Not a problem. But he's not a DM. We need a defensive midfielder, man. I'm talking Makalele, Essien, even John Obi Mikel. We need a DM. Like it's outrageous. And if we don't get one, I still think our midfield is going to continue to get exposed.
That's my concern, bro. That's the only thing. Because look, man, this Gallagher and Jorginho pivot, I didn't agree with it.
It shouldn't have happened in the first place.
That's what I mean.
Gallagher's not a 6.
He's not a 6 at all, man. And you saw, like, this is why I refuse to put the blame on the kid.
Well, yeah.
He's not a natural number 6. But look, there's options out there in the market. But, you know, that performance and the comments that the manager came out with, like, quite rightly, like you said, is concerning. But then it's kind of contradictory if you're to believe what the media have been saying over the past few weeks, because De Jong is a midfielder. So
yeah,
is he just saying that in the sense of, if we do say we're out there looking for a midfielder, that teams are just gonna say, boom, okay, Chelsea are really looking for the midfielder. We're just gonna mark up a price even further.
Yeah.
So it could be that tactic in the manager's defense, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to put too much negatives on the manager. And another thing I've got to emphasize as well, right? Just because you have criticisms of a manager, it doesn't mean that you want them out.
I hate this modern day thinking that it's got to be black and white. Like, nah, man. Like, okay, I make one criticism of something despite the 99 positives that I've said. Oh no, he wants him sacked. That's not how the world works. That's just not how the world works, man. Yeah, I agree.
Look, like no one's saying that they want the manager sacked. What I'm trying to say through my criticisms is this: is just address the problems that need to be addressed, Tuchel, because we're in a situation where us as fans have finally got what we want in terms of the owner is financially backing the manager's decisions on what players that he wants. Yeah. Now, obviously, there's no guarantee that every single one of his targets coming through the door, but you've seen the ones that Tuchel has wanted. Todd Bowley has tried going in for them, whether it's successfully or unsuccessfully. So you know that he's being backed. But this is a situation that has been going on for the past 4 years.
Exactly.
We haven't replaced. Yeah, Matic hasn't been replaced.
Yeah, exactly. Matic was probably our last known proper defensive midfielder. And he had the good season under Conte, and after that, it began to go a little bit south. Am I back? I'm all good. Yeah, you're a bit weird. I don't know what happened.
No, you froze for a second, but you're good. You're good.
Matic was our last one, and since then, we haven't had someone that's come in and actually played properly as a defensive midfielder. People had the understanding that Kante was that guy, but with time, we realized, no, he's not. He's a double pivot player, yes, not a defensive midfielder. So, yeah, we desperately need someone now. The question remains, who's it going to be? We've got 8 days of the window left. You know, but if we don't feel in this concern, it's not looking good. Because if we end up with another injury crisis like we are already seeing signs of right now, and luckily it's happened now because there's time in the market, then if we don't take action, what's going to happen later? If Kante and Kovacic get injured again later, or something happens to Jorginho, then we're playing with I'm guessing a Billy Gilmore. Well, no, actually, Billy Gilmore I give a chance to.
He hasn't got a shirt number.
He hasn't got a shirt number, does he? We're going with a Gallagher Loftus-Cheek double pivot. Like, no. We might as well just hand 3 points.
Yeah,
If that were to
exactly.
happen,
You know, and
it can't happen.
and you have options there. And I think when Billy Gilmore has played for us in that position, he's done pretty well. You know, I think also Ampadu. I'm not saying because they're still young. They're still young players, so I don't know whether to say that they're the long term solutions, but they're not being given chances to show it. So if you don't rate these guys, get rid of them. And bring in who you do rate, but that's a position that we can't ignore anyway. Hopefully, you know, what he said about the midfielders, I'm going to take it with a pinch of salt because it could be with the business side of it in mind, which is why he's saying that, you know, because if you're going to turn around and say that, but you've been chasing Frankie de Jong all summer, then it's very contradictory. But thank you very much for the super chat. Leao to Chelsea, what do you think? Let's just touch on that real quick, Younes. Leao to Chelsea.
Yeah, I would absolutely happily have Leao, without a doubt. And I think if Ziyech is going, which now it looks like he is, that's another thing, by the way. Have to say that if he was going on a flight to Amsterdam yesterday, why was he played? Immediately after the game, man went straight to the airport, off to Amsterdam, and he's met with Ajax, spoken with Ajax. Deal was about to get done. It seems we've been willing to let him go since May, like baffling. But if he were to go, which it looks like it's happening, we need a replacement. Pulisic isn't going to be that guy, let's be honest. Leao, I would happily take. And I think if we had a front three of Sterling, Leao, and Aubameyang, I'd be filled with a lot more confidence.
I'm not gonna lie, it does sound exciting. I'm not gonna lie to you, but I've given my thoughts on what I feel is the priority. Again, I emphasize CDM, and I also think another a central midfielder as well. Because remember, Jorginho and Kante, we can't rely. Kante and Kovacic, you know, one's got a year left and the other one's injury prone. So that's two that we need to ideally have there. We need to have, you know, we need to relieve the pressure on these guys. IK, thank you for the super chat. The purchase of Carne, Hutchison, and Casade is our long-term solution. Remember that we're operating at Liverpool long-term solutions only, but there's long-term solutions that are good enough to step in. For example, Wesley Fofana. You know, he can step in and make an impact now. He's only 21 years old. It looks like it's going to happen. That's a centre back we can potentially have for the next, I don't know, you know, if we manage him well, another, you know, 12 years, 13 years, up until he's about 34, 35. Who knows? If you manage him well, that's the key thing about it. So I definitely think there's options out there. I've been very vocal about Kouadio Kone over at Mönchengladbach. I think he would do an excellent job as a CDM at Chelsea. I think he has got a complete package about him. Yeah, right there, as you say, Kouadio Kone is the man, but apparently Newcastle are talking to him at the minute, so that could be another target that's just gone. But let's see, man. Let's see. You never know.
Newcastle are moving mad.
They are.
The way they're going.
Yeah, that result that weekend was a bit of a freak result for them, innit? But it was a good result, man. Like Bruno Gomes, man.
Quality, isn't he? Mate. Yeah.
What a player. Yeah, what a player. He's definitely going to have I think he's going to have a brilliant season. Eddie Howe's getting it right. He's getting it right over there at Newcastle. But big ups. Thank you very much. Exeter 1985. All the best to both of you. Younes, my friend, identified Chelsea's problem on their vacation to the States in preseason. They weren't taking things seriously. TT needs to run training like military training. Well, we don't know if he does already or if he doesn't. You don't know what happens behind closed doors.
The thing is, at the moment, this problem's gone from preseason, but I've just got a sense that the camp isn't this, like, behind the scenes. I mean, you just know when performances dip, something's happening behind closed doors. Without a doubt. Something in the dressing room is there, right? And I feel like since preseason, we've just had a few of those lads in the squad that are just unhappy. And some of them have moved on already. Some of them are probably about to move on. But it affects the squad. It does affect the squad. And I feel like right now there is a sense of there's a new guys that have just come in that I think are probably buzzing. There's the lads that are there happy. They know they're playing, but you know, the feeling right now isn't so good and their performances drop down a little bit. And then you have players that are literally just unhappy and want to leave. And with the ones that have gone, you've got examples like Ziyech, you've got examples like Pulisic. You can just tell the body language says 1,000 words.
Yeah.
When you have a squad like that, you're not going to get the best out of it. You're just not. You got to get rid of those ones that don't want to be there. You got to have people that are happy to be there. You can see that change has happened at Arsenal. You can see the vibe and the way that everyone's happy, everyone's on the same page. So you've brought in those few additions, and it looks like everyone's in harmony. The body language is screaming of positivity. And it helps on the pitch. When it's the other way, it brings you down. And yeah, right now, it's going to be something that Thomas Tuchel needs to manage. And if he doesn't do it correctly, he's treading on very dangerous territory. As a Chelsea manager of old, I mean, now we've got new ownership, but as a Chelsea manager, you know what that can mean.
So, yeah. But yeah, it's a sticky one. But do you know what? We're gonna come on to that one on another live. I want to hold that for another live, bro. I'm not even gonna put out the question. We'll talk about it after the live. But Edouard Mendy, I've seen a few people in the comments. They're saying talk about Edouard Mendy, please, Guni. Edouard Mendy is here's the thing, right? I don't think Edouard Mendy has never been good with the ball at his feet. So my thing is why involve him in the build-up phase if you know that he is not good under pressure? Why do that in the first place?
Well, when you look at where the ball came from initially, who was it that went backwards? It was Gallagher. And he had that pressure on him. But again, I can't blame him 100%. He's not meant to be playing there, you know? So the fact that the ball went backwards from that point, and yeah, if that is a thing that we're trying to do and Mendy's not comfortable, I mean, we shouldn't do it. Secondly, Mendy had more than enough time. He's touched the ball and then he throws.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, mate, just kick away. If you're freezing, just kick it away. I'd rather you give a throw away than give a goal away. So, last resort, if you've panicked and you've gone, oh my God, just hit it out. And if that looks stupid, you know what? I'll still take it. Even if I go, what are you doing? And he goes, I've panicked. I've just hit it out. All right, fair dues. Fair enough. We move. Let's go. But if you just stand there and you're trying to do some next malarkey and you give it away and he just treads the ball into the net, and it's not the first time, it's not the second time, it's not the third time. It's rough.
Exactly. So my thing is that if you know that Edouard Mendy's got it in him and he's consistently shown you, right? Yeah. And let's remember as well, this guy is a post-30 goalkeeper. So it's going to be harder for him to break these habits. I'm a firm believer in the older you get, the more stuck in the ways you become.
True.
So it's going to be harder for him to break the habit. It's easier to coach it out of a younger goalkeeper. But, you know, that's the backup option, Kepa, that's another conversation. But in terms of Edouard Mendy even being involved in the phase of play, I don't think that they should be doing that. I really don't. You know, honestly, Gallagher, bruv, I don't even want to talk about that game. It's just stressful to me. I've said what I need to say in my post-match. I'm just don't even want to talk about it, bruv.
I don't blame you. I mean, even tactically, you got to look at it. If you know there's there's someone there that's suspect, or you know you're not as quick as you need to be in passing the ball out of the back, and you're playing against a high press team that is from minute one throwing the kitchen sink at you in the way that they run and press and how aggressive they are towards the ball when you have it. Don't pass out on the back.
And we knew this, and we knew this before the game. We knew this before the game.
Exactly, it's not rocket science.
Leeds are relentless with the press, and if you thought going into that game with Jorginho and Gallagher as the pivot, right, and as unathletic as Jorginho is, just getting pressed out of the game completely, just what do you expect at this? But this is why I can't be angry at Jorginho, because like he can only work with the tools that he's got.
Yeah, fully, and we know that he's lacking in certain departments already. We already knew that. I said it. In my preview before that game, I said we can't play Jorginho in a single six. As much as I would love to have someone sitting there, we can't because he'd get exposed. And if you had someone next to him that can't play in a double pivot, well, he's technically a single six now, isn't he? Because you haven't given him a partner in the double pivot. He's going to have to fend for himself. It's the same situation. That's exactly what happened. Defensively, he got caught out multiple times. And we blame him to an extent. Like, what are you doing? Yes, but we knew this. We knew this from last season and the season before that it's just not his strength. He doesn't have it in him. He shouldn't be in that position where he has to fend for himself and fend for the entire team. When you know he's gonna get exposed. So yeah, it's this is why I'm screaming DM.
Yeah,
the end.
exactly. Relieve the pressure on him as well, to be honest. If you're even gonna keep him, but there's
Yeah,
still interest. There's interest in the player elsewhere. He hasn't signed a new contract, although there's rumors we're giving him a new one. Um, I'd like to see him. Honestly, I'd like to see him moved on, and I think he still deserves the respect that he has done for the club. He's
100%.
done brilliant things for the club, so it's never a disrespect to the player. It's just more about the realism of what we're seeing, man. The athleticism, well, the lack of athleticism is what's really letting him down.
And it's inevitable. He is going back home at some point. We know this.
Yeah,
It's common knowledge. He will go back to Italy.
The build-up play is now starting to suffer. It's too slow, too many touches on the balls, the laterals, passes, backwards passes.
Yep.
It's got to do better than that. It's got to be better. So hopefully it gets addressed. You get me? I think there's a blame game forward. Sorry, I think there's a blame game forward players versus Tuchel. The forwards cannot really. They don't help themselves.
Bro,
Case in point, Kai Havertz missed versus Tottenham.
I prefer not to speak.
Bro,
honestly, yeah, man, it's true. It can't continue.
You can't miss that. That ball was on the plate for you. That was world class from Reece James. That deserved an assist. Robbed of another assist yet again. Kai Havertz, what do you think? We've got to have a conversation, bruv.
Mate, and weirdly enough, if we're talking, there's two sides of the coin to this one. Yeah, there's Kai Havertz as a striker. That's one conversation, and there's Kai Havertz, just his form right now, and not just him, but even Mason along with him. Since the season started, it's like those two have come as a package. But if we're talking about players getting dropped and whatnot, okay, yeah, no, those need to be addressed. But if we're talking about Kai Havertz as a striker and what he's offering, man, it's mad, because I remember when Havertz he had that patch of form last season, and we started to get a bit comfortable, and we're like, oh, okay, maybe he's finding his feet. I had a feeling like, yeah, now you know what, it's looking good now, but this isn't a long-term solution. There's just no way. Although I hope it will be. Maybe, you never know. Can he mold into a centre forward? He can't. And I just think like, I'm starting to. I'm going to be really real and honest with you. Yeah, with Kai Havertz, I think he's a top player. I'm starting to wonder whether we actually have a position in the way that we play for him.
That's what I was just about to bring up. And again, it's not a knock on the player, because he gets a lot of stick. Do I rate him as a player? Yes. Do I think he's being misprofiled? 150%.
Yeah.
He's being misused. So there's no consistency in the role that he was actually beginning to excel at. Do you know what I mean? It still wasn't perfect doing the false nine role. There's still a lot for him to learn, obviously. And that's not his natural position. I have to emphasize that. For me, do you know where I would see him doing well? At Bayern Munich. Step into Thomas Muller's position. I think he thrives in that team.
Oh, I'd smash it in that.
That's the role for him. That's the role for him. But we accommodate that in this style of football that we're playing.
It's mad. I get the feeling like, as you've said, we've just acquired loads of players and we've misprofiled them completely. And it's not just one or two. It looks like we've misprofiled an entire squad. Like, when you know what the player can do, and you know what the ceiling is and what the ability is and what he can offer, but the way that we play, or the way that we even want to play, it's like there's no position for him. That's mad. It's bonkers. Because if we're taking the suggestion that he plays best as a second striker, right, or someone that can lean off the striker, well, not lean off the striker, but sitting behind the striker, a little bit more on the side. Well, we're playing with two up top. So the 3-4-3 is out the window.
It's out the window, exactly.
It's out the window. We're having to play a 3-5-2 or 4-4-2. That's it. There's literally no other way that we can play. Or we'll have to try and find some other molds and maybe go with a 4-3-1-2 or a 4-1-3-2, or if we try and go with a 3-4-1-2, but even then, that with a 3-4-1-2 under Thomas Tuchel, it's still a 3-4-3. Those players are still interchanging. It's never just one player sitting in behind the striker. We haven't got the striker to even sit in behind. So it's just a bit all over the place. When you think about it, the amount of surgery this team actually needs is outrageous.
It is. There's a lot that needs to be done.
It's shocking. It's shocking.
But this is a very good window, because listen, we need to also realize that this level of spending that's going on this summer is not going to be consistent. Let's have it right.
This is a one-time deal. Yeah.
So it's even more important that we get it right now.
Yeah.
It's especially in the first team, because teams around us are doing pretty well. I know it's very early in the season. I don't want to start saying things like, this is how the table's going to end. Absolutely not. It's still very premature in the season. But the early warnings are showing that there are teams that finished behind us that looked a lot more. Remember, the key word I'm using here is balanced. They have balance in their midfield.
We have zero balance.
We don't have balance in our midfield.
Nothing.
So if that is not addressed, I'm going to honestly be worried about our top 4 spot this season. I really am.
Yeah. Yeah. Because you can get all the nice acquisitions in and around the other parts of the pitch. But if you don't have that core and you haven't got balance, no matter how good one player is in one role, your team isn't sustainable.
This is why I say it's like having a Lamborghini with a Corsa 1.2 engine.
There we are.
This is what we're doing. You can't ignore the midfield situation. It needs to be addressed. And again, it's not a criticism on the manager. It's just a call to say, please address it. Not that we don't listen to this, but it's one of those ones. Just address the situation, innit?
Yeah.
But then again, we could, like me, I could be sitting here getting upset and, for no reason, because for all I know, there could be talks behind closed doors for another midfielder, a defensive midfielder or something like that. And the way Chelsea have been moving, because something that they have said is that, they're going for world-class talents only.
So I wonder who we're going to go for. Yeah.
You never know. I don't think we're going for Declan Rice. I highly doubt that. West Ham, from what I hear, they do not want to sell him. They don't want to sell him to Chelsea. They'd rather sell him to one of the Manchester clubs than us. But the thing is that it's a Rafinha situation in our favor, where Declan Rice is saying he'd prefer to come to Chelsea. Do you know what I mean? It's his club.
Yeah.
So there's that. So let's see if this whole talk about a gentleman's agreement between Declan Rice and West Ham to leave next summer is actually true. Because look, it's what the gaffer apparently wants. Like, there's talking about what you'd want on a personal level, but I'm talking about realistic targets that we are going to be looking at. So we've got to keep an eye on that situation. Do I think that Declan Rice should be the be-all and end-all? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I think the manager needs to still think about bringing in another midfielder. If you know that Declan Rice is more of a possibility next summer, you need to bring in another midfielder, 100%. That's why the player can blame TT out of position. Well, some are, you know what I mean? But they have to realize that they're not the only players that are being sacrificed and being played out of position, because we also have to understand that last season, a lot of the time, we was hit with so many injuries that we didn't even have a choice but to play some of these players in that position. So players have also got to realize that.
Yeah.
Players have definitely got to realize that. Misprofiled, yes, but these aren't Tuchel signings. That's another thing, Younes, as well. We have to remember that a lot of these players have been a part of like a pick and mix, basically, because of the amount of different managers that we've had along the years and that have still stuck to the team. So it's like you say, there is a lot of surgery, but do you reckon that's a massive contributor to the squad?
100%, because when you think about it, even a Kai Havertz, Tuchel found him here. That came from Lampard. So it's the same story, even though we're trying to now go on a more of a methodology where we're looking at this one manager and we're trying to do everything we can to build around this one manager, and it's going to take time. It's just going to take time. Realistically, though, we still want to get Champions League football. We want not just that. That should be the bare minimum. Like, we should be trying to compete. But Thomas Tuchel needs to be given the opportunity to build his squad. And I feel like these signings that we've already brought in are helping. But there's more. As we said, this team needs surgery. And I don't think we realized last season or the start of last season just how much surgery this squad actually needed. And I feel like we're in the process of getting that done. But in the meantime, we're not up to par at all, as we should be. So I'm willing to give the opportunity, of course, for TT to have his players and his squad and build what he wants to do, and then fully judge him after that. At that point, it's like you have everything you need. Like, this is on you now. I'm not even looking at a player playing badly, but this is, you brought him here, you know? So up until that point, it's going to be a case of compromise. But I hope we bring in what we need to bring in.
Well, to answer this question, Guni and Younes, please discuss, if TT didn't win the Champions League, would you still want him in charge? Let me start. I'll say this, right? It's just gonna go back to what Younes was just saying, which is, up until now, he hasn't had that freedom to pick whatever player that he wants to pick for his own system. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's very difficult for me to judge based on that. And I don't think it would be very fair. I think what he done in winning the Champions League was miraculous, considering what had happened previously, where we'd come from, the kind of football we was playing, and the fact that we lost Frank Lampard. I think it was a miracle what he did, quite frankly. So I've got to respect him based on that. But now, if the emphasis on the 38 games a season on that form is magnified, because now he's going for his targets, right? He needs to get it right. There's very little more. There's much less margin for error than there was before. Yeah. So now that we know that he's been given the opportunity to decimate this team, to bring in whatever that he wants, cool. But it's still very premature. We have to see whether he gets the results this season, because I will say this. If I'm the board and I'm looking at this, yes, I trust Thomas Tuchel, right? But if potentially we're going to spend the 300 million price tag that we're apparently looking to spend this transfer window, and we're not getting top four, how is that going to look to the owners? And we also have to remember that the owners didn't pick Thomas Tuchel as manager. Exactly. Those are two things that we have to remember. So he's going to be, I think he's going to be looked at differently this season by the owners, you know, because they are backing him. So a lot of these are his decisions. So it's going to be interesting to see. Yeah. So I know it's a bit of a long answer there, but so basically in the short of it is, no, I don't want him out. Going back to what I said, it's just based on, like, we can see what the problem is. Just address it, Gaffer. That's all we're saying. It's not manager out.
And there's a bare minimum that needs to be adhered to. As you said, it's a two-way street. I mean, yeah, we get Tuchel what he wants, but from an owner perspective, it's still a case of this team should still be strong enough to get a bare minimum. Yeah. In the meantime, we're helping you. So we need that bare minimum. For example, if we finished 5th or 6th, I'd be asking questions. Like, that should not happen.
Exactly.
It just shouldn't happen. It shouldn't happen. So at that point, you have to ask, because the quality is actually there to be able to get that bare minimum. But to try and say we're going to compete for the title or whatnot, bearing in mind how much surgery needs to be done and the realization we've had over the last couple of games, it's like, okay, well, maybe we're not going to compete for the title. But
yeah, I know, yeah.
But yeah, we need to, I feel like we need to be strong in the transfer market in the time that we have left. And
I'll say this, he needs to be, if he's not going to sign a midfielder, he's going to have to be vindicated for these decisions. That one, number one. And number two, I'm pretty sure the board are going to be asking, why are you not using the youngsters if two of them are fit to play that role? That's going to be a question. So he's going to have to get it right from the board's perspective. And just before we go, Younes, let me just do this super chat, because I know the game's about to start in 7 minutes. So let's do the super chat real quick. Why would TT start making excuses for poor performances? Is Leeds that far away from Chelsea that it was a hardship to not be able to fly there? Sorry, I'm not familiar with the UK geography. Leeds is kind of a mission from Chelsea, but it's no excuse. It's no excuse.
Listen, I've driven to and from Leeds so many times. It's crazy. Since 2019, because I stayed up there for a few months, and I've been back and forth. It's a 3.5 hour, 4 hour drive. Yes, it's not nice, but it's not the end of the world. 3.5, 4 hour drive where you can stop off very quickly, or you can go straight. I've done both. I've stopped off and I've kept going. I'm not shattered. By the time I arrive, I'm like, oh, I've made it. Cool, nice one. All right, what's the rest of the day saying? Not a problem. For athletes of that level, it's not an excuse. It's not an excuse.
Yeah, I wasn't too impressed with that. There were several things I didn't like in that interview. But listen, just like I said, let's see.
Could be player protection, isn't it?
Yeah, could be that, could be that as well. But Younes, let the people know what you've already got up or what you've got coming up on your channel.
Yeah, so given my thoughts on Aubameyang and the more today, and more news on like Ziyech to Ajax and Fofana, etc., and what's going on there, And yeah, as we gear up to the weekend, it's a case of seeing what else is happening. The Reddit video, I think, will be up tomorrow as well. So keep eyes on that. And yeah, that's basically it.
And people, like I said at the beginning of this stream, tomorrow at 5:00 p.m. I will be doing an interactive live. So I will be sharing the link with you guys so you can give your thoughts on Chelsea and whatever footballing stuff you have got on your mind. And then straight after that at 7:00 p.m. I will be doing a show with Henry Wright TV. We'll be doing that once a week, every Tuesday. Henry is a Spurs fan, but we will be trying to bring on other fans within the top 5, top 6 to actually grow that. So people, love 13,000 subscribers. We really appreciate that over here, man. 100%. Like, appreciate that. We got to keep on growing. No, if you are new to the platform, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Also, smash up that like button. Leave your thoughts down there in the comments as well. And big up all of the people in the chat, all of the mods, everybody that is in here, man. And people, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, please make sure you stay safe. Bless.